All right, Eddie, I wanted to give you another update video on Izzy and what we got going on with her for a couple of reasons. One, it's nice to see the dog, and I'm sure your whole family's getting excited to meet her. We're real happy that's going to happen soon. Wanted to kind of give you a preview a little bit of kind of the stuff that, where she is, and then kind of preview where you want to keep working with her. Good girl. Hey. Good. Izzy, the thing you kind of have to know, every dog is unique. Izzy is definitely a dog who's very calculated. She's a thinker. She's constantly looking at things, trying to evaluate how to do them. She is not a reckless, obnoxious dog. She's definitely kind of, you could almost kind of see her being portrayed as being timid or being cautious, when really she's looking at situations and evaluating them, making sure that it's something that is what she's supposed to be doing. The important thing to know about Izzy is absolutely does nothing to be difficult. She's not trying to be difficult, like most dogs, but she is trying to figure out how to best handle a situation, which is actually wonderful. You'll see as she grows up, it will become more and more useful. What I want to do here is I want to show you some of the obedience commands, because this is, of course, kind of the foundation of what we, how we teach the dog to do, all of our life skills, and whether, it's, around the house, or whatever, or whether we're out in the field, the commands are the commands. We want the dog to do those all the same way. You notice that Izzy sits here very nicely. She generally doesn't fight. She's not a dog who's real difficult on a leash. She's generally very well controlled. She seems to be very accepting of the leash. It's not a big deal for her. She's pretty cool with it. The other thing that, like most young dogs, what we do, Izzy is only 5 months, just barely now 5 months, or a little right around there, just over a few days past 5 months. So she is very young, and so she's still heavily motivated by food. So we use food as one of our great motivators and our rewards. Good girl, good sit. So right here, what I'm doing is while I'm talking to the camera, I'm sitting here just simply giving her tiny little pieces of her dog food, which she enjoys greatly. I don't know if you can actually see her tail flipping there, which is a sign saying, I like this, I'm happy, everything is good. Now, a couple things else you need to know about her. At this age, not only is she very young, like I said, but she is right smack dab in the middle of her teething process, which means, oh, she lost that one. Yeah, she has lost one of her big canines and not lost the other. Good girl, sit. Which is actually good that she's lost one already. That's helpful. But her teeth are coming in, and if you look, when I look at her teeth, you can see that they're red right along the edge of where her teeth are. Her gums are very sensitive right now. So we really kind of limit some of the retrieving work right now because we don't want it to be uncomfortable to the dog. We want them to associate retrieving. We certainly don't want it to be associated with pain. So we're definitely keeping that at a minimum. And this is really the prime time where we're teaching her that obedience, that socialization, getting all that foundation built, because the dog's going to go get the bird. We know she's going to go get the bird. She loves getting the birds. That's not a problem. We want to make sure that we build this foundation right now. I want to show you how to do that. Now, we're going to do that by teaching her 3 very specific commands. These are the 3 commands that we use with all our very young dogs to get them started, because we want them to be able to handle these very well on a leash. And then once we've got them working very well on leash, then the transition, the trick for you is to get her to do it without the leash on. That's ultimately the goal. And that takes months of training, so don't think you're going to do that on Thursday when you get her. Okay, so the 3 commands are here, heel, sit, right? Here means go from wherever you are over to me, right? Heel means on my left side with your nose in front or tail behind, and sit, of course, means put your behind on the ground. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we teach those commands and how we enforce them with a leash. We teach all of this stuff at the beginning, like I showed you with the food bowl, and doing treats. So she knows the commands. She knows what sit means, which is why she's sitting here so nicely. But how do we teach it with a leash when we're out in the big open and there's all sorts of stuff to go do and go chase? There's even a little bunny rabbit sitting over here about to bolt and really challenge her. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this leash, and notice that it's loose, okay? We use the lead loose to let it mean that she's in a good spot. The loose leash means you're good. I want you there. When the leash gets tight and comes up and creates pressure on her, that means you're doing something wrong, and we want her to change what that is. And we're going to use that to put her in the position where we want her. So what I mean by that is we're going to walk with her on heel, and then I am going to quickly walk away from her and get her to come to me. And while we're doing that, we're going to be putting the commands in there, and you'll see it all come together. And then kind of this little routine, if you will, this obedience routine, we repeat this over and over and over and over and over until it is such a habit the dog can't think about doing it any other way. At this point, Izzy has seen all of this, but is far from being an expert in it, which is exactly what we would expect with a 5-month-old puppy. Okay, are you ready, baby? All right, let's go. Good. Izzy, here. Good. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Good. Right, so there she was out in front of me. I wanted her to come in, right? And I set her up for that so that she would come back to me, right? And then I wanted her to sit right here beside me, right? So we did that by giving her the heel command to come here beside me, and then the sit command right here beside me. So I want her right here on my left side. So I'm rewarding this. Good. Good. Sit. Good girl. You'll also notice that I don't use the stay command. If you like the stay command, feel free to use it. I don't particularly teach it. We just don't use it. But that's up to you. If you'd like to teach her stay, as in like, you know, sit and walk away type stuff, that's however you would like to do that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this again. All right, we're going to go heel. Izzy, here, here. Good. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Very good. Good. Okay. So there she did a really nice job of doing sit, here, heel. Now, when we get good at this, that's kind of the introductory step. Sit. Good. Also, I don't have to give treats every time. We want to transition her to where I'm just saying good girl and giving her praise. We want to get out of having to give the dog food. We don't want to be, you know, hunting down the, you know, going through the draw and have to, you know, give a dog a piece of kibble every time she does something you want. You want her to work for praise. And Izzy works nicely for praise as well, too. It's not a big deal. Okay. Once we kind of get proficient at walking in a straight line, now we're going to start walking in a square. Okay. So the easiest square is to walk what I call an outside square, meaning the dog's going to be on the outside and I'm on the inside. Let me show you what that looks like. Heel. Heel. Izzy, here. Heel. Heel. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. That was very nice. Thank you. All right. So there we get her to do kind of the basic loop around. Now, you can also do it in reverse, where you have the dog on the inside of the loop. That's a little bit more difficult because you're going to be kind of guiding the dog and you're making them move. It's actually a little more advanced, but it's a lot better because the dog has to focus on looking at you. Let me show you what I mean by that. Come on. Heel. Good girl. Izzy, here, heel, sit. Very good. That was excellent. Thank you, sweetheart. So there you can see when I was doing that heel command, she's forced to be watching me because my leg's about to brush into her face. So she's constantly looking up at me. This is actually what we want. Heel. We want the dog to be focusing their attention on us not down sniffing the ground. You know, we want them looking at us, working with us. The good news is Izzy is wonderful at this. She is so sweethearted and so what we call eager to please. She is desperate to please you. If there's anything that she does that's wrong, it's because she's trying to please you or because she's not sure what she's supposed to do. She does not have a difficult bone in her body. She's just a lovely, wonderful dog. So she's going to make you a great one. Not only a great, nice dog in the field, but she's going to be a wonderful buddy in the house. She is just an absolute sweetheart. To be honest, my 9-year-old daughter's kind of mad that she's leaving. So, but it's okay. We got another one coming. Good girl, Izzy.